Your return to my CryptoQ Media channel brings me joy. Many continue to doubt that XRP will really explode in value, even if it has done so before. There are many who maintain that the plot has remained constant throughout. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's not the case. We already established yesterday that XRPL meme currencies indeed exist. Even more absurd than my plans is the fact that XRPL will be receiving $1 billion worth of tokenized currency tonight. Seems completely crazy. Because I want to explain everything to you, make sure you subscribe and like tonight's video. In all seriousness, you guys have been absolutely crushing it recently, so please, hit that like button. I am incredibly grateful. Alright, then, let's get the video started right away. When Bitcoin starts to rally ideally, as we approach 70,000 XRP is trading about 1.5% lower than yesterday, then we will talk about this. Nevertheless, it is worth mentioning. Aram Equity Partners will shortly create a tokenized fund with 1 billion. The RWA storyline will have a major impact on the XRP and Ripple ecosystems, even though it isn't at the moment. The big players in this bull market DeFi, RWA, and DPIN are likely to strike XRPL hard again. Accordingly, the tokenized fund will invest in data centers in regions where XRP is currently active, including the US, UAE, Saudi Arabia, India, and Europe. Before everything else, and this becomes really obvious when you start to examine the links, has been building licenses, has trading options there, and, finally, has centers they can use. That, in my view, is an essential part. Aram Equity Partners, an investment banking firm, announced the launch of a tokenized fund that combines equity and debt assets. The fund will be worth $1 billion. Another new use case is tokenizing private equity, and rumor has it that RWA is using this to solve liquidity issues and market restrictions. According to the announcement made on October 22, the new tokenized fund would primarily focus on developing data centers in several European, Asian, American, and Middle Eastern countries. In that thread, David Schwartz, chief technologist of Ripple, is airing his grievances. Hold on a second, you may be thinking as you consider bit data centers. Tokenized assets are great in every way, I see it. How is Ripple relevant to this? The wild part is about to begin. Tokenization solutions for assets and the security token desist protocol developed by ZWA will be used by the fund. These solutions are dynamic, compliant, and interoperable. Through the utilization of the XRP ledger, the initial layer of the blockchain, further opportunities for the tokenization of real-world assets will be explored. When used together, these tools will convert the firm's assets into a digital money. If you want to tokenize $1 billion worth of money, XRPL is the glue that will keep it all together. This is just the beginning, so bear that in mind. Who can predict with certainty how things will turn out? This is obviously a big step forward. To have a sense of where RWA and tokenization are headed, have a look at our predictions for some of the big players in the industry. The market valuation of CT could reach $4 trillion by 2030, according to McKinsey & Company's prediction. Bolin Rollensberger is available at 10 trillion. 14 billion. GCG. By any measure, the 30 trillion mark is absolutely bonkers according to the conventional wisdom. You can see the size of the bill here. So, make it a little easier. For instance, the chain is about to get a flood of volume and undivided attention from meme currencies. Also, various instruments, including banks, can make use of your system of financial institutions. Asset tokenization is the topic we will now address. In this situation, is there anything that Ripple isn't doing in my opinion, that is vital in terms of references? Many people are saying wait a second right now. A lawsuit against SEC is progressing, though. Please tell me what's going on over there. We see a money transfer happening again. Now I know that some will use this as an excuse to donate to the Harris Fund. How can one know for sure? Indeed, each and every tree firmly declares its position on the SEC case. Is the plan to pay for this? A total of approximately 109 million has been witnessed in transfers. Will this be finished before the presidential election, which is in 2 weeks? Gary Gensler's demotion is supposedly imminent. His tenure would conclude in January, and history indicates that the chair of the SEC often resigns upon the assumption of office by the reigning president. Therefore, can he see this lawsuit through to its conclusion as they contemplate the potential consequences of this scenario? And Stuart Ali's point of view, all but him are asking this question. Ali is results-oriented. The only two options open to the Supreme Court are to either confirm or expand upon Judge Ali Zator's decision from the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. What does he say? Then a second set of clergy will lobby for a firm ruling in the case of Torres and expander from the judge. In an ideal world, SEC would ultimately agree that a tiny premium is necessary. A slightly higher price tag is necessary. Problems with that approach are obvious. As for the second, it becomes ugly when they get into an argument with Judge Torres, who they accuse of being stupid for ruling against them. Ultimately, SEC will not produce desirable results. They are actually capable of making somewhat more money. However, in the overall context, how does that function? Very little. Keep in mind that they got 4 billion from Binance, 2 billion from Terra Lotto, and a couple $100 million from somewhere else. Next, we will examine the current state of XRP. As shown earlier, there was a small drop of 1.85%, which is not particularly noteworthy. We could see that change for sure. For the time being, that candle will do. This item was offered for sale and later resold. Is this going to be the find that turns in? Have you needed to take out a little more money? That is the problem, though. The market is about to reveal a lot, but the relative strength indexes, RSI rising trend and the return of buying activity are optimistic signs. Where does Bitcoin go from here? Would XRP come after it when this 1 billion RWA arrives? What will happen to XRP? Just like I mentioned before, I think XRPL is the main player in this bull market. A privilege it is for you to view my video. After you're done, please subscribe and give me your feedback.